Hey MD, this is Mark Alvisi. Day 2 with Robbie Duran, filming here at Level 5 Fitness in Delray Beach. It's right down the street from my sports nutrition store, Pro Sports Nutrition. It's owned by myself and Ava Cowan, my fiance. Anyway, today we're going to do some delts. I've got my training partner here, James Davis. He's getting ready for the Arnold Amateur in a few weeks here, so you know, he's dialing in, and he's going to do another hardcore workout here. So today we're going to hit some delts, and I've got my training partner with me, James Davis. James is actually a couple weeks out from doing the Arnold Amateur in Ohio. So actually, I won the heavyweight class at the first Arnold Amateur back in '07, and I think it's a really good show to do just to get some serious exposure. It definitely helped me. You know, after that win, I started speaking with Gaspari Nutrition about a sponsorship, and you know, it's a good show to do. It's a big stage. There's a ton of people there. You know, obviously the Arnold is one of the biggest shows of the year, so just to be able to be on that stage, even you know, as an amateur, that show has really grown even since the first year when I did it. If you can make it onto that stage, and especially if you can do well, you're definitely going to get some recognition, and you know, you'll get noticed. And if your goal is to get with a company, it doesn't hurt to do well in that show. Yeah, the Arnold Amateur is a pretty good show to do well at it, because if you think about it, just some of the guys that have done well at that show, you know, they're actually really good pros today. Guys like Eduardo Correa, Tariq El-Satui, who else? Isa, Obiad, Rolly Winkler. That's just 3 or 4 guys right there that actually are, you know, real notable pros right now that have done well just in the last few years. So chances are, if you do well in that show, you're probably going to have a really good pro career. So that's definitely a show I recommend if somebody wants to kind of break in. You know, don't just look at just the Nationals and the USAs. Obviously, those are big shows, and those will definitely get you noticed as well. But the Arnold Classic or the Amateurs is a really good show to kind of see where you fare. So today we're going to hit some delts, and I just want to talk a little bit about my training partner, James. Like I said, he's a couple weeks out from doing the Arnold Amateur, and James actually started training with me last year when I was training for Dallas. He's been a great training partner. This guy basically shows up whenever I'm training. 2-a-days, you know, he comes in, and you know, even if we train really hard and he has to quit towards the end or go in the bathroom and throw up, he keeps coming back. And I've chased a handful of guys away, and James keeps coming back. So I think that he's going to have a really great career ahead of him because he don't quit. And you know, he really knows how to push himself, and obviously training with me, he's challenging himself, and it's great to have a good training partner that keeps showing up. That way, you know, sometimes when I don't feel like going, he'll push me. So it's really it's good to have somebody to push you when you just don't have the energy, especially the last few weeks before a show. I'm dogging it, and you know, he's always at the gym waiting for me, so, you know, I couldn't ask for much else. So like I was talking about earlier, even with delt training, pretty much most of my training, I kind of switched it up probably for the next 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. I'm just going to see how it goes. But typically I always would do more higher rep, you know, 10 to 12 reps, and still going as heavy as possible. But I decided I wanted to do some strength training here for the next couple months, just to see how strong I could get myself and how heavy I could get my lifts up to if I were to just stop at like 6 reps after I was warmed up. So I'm kind of an experiment with myself, because I normally don't train like this with so few reps. But obviously I've already found that just by stopping at 6, you know, I have a little bit more energy, so I can go heavier on the next set. And I think that that's going to help me just increase my my max lift weight, and hopefully at the end of the day, I'll come away with a more strength gain, heavier lifts, and hopefully that'll translate into bigger muscle. So we're gonna see how this goes over the course of the next couple of months, and I'm just gonna train like this, and I'm gonna eat a lot of calories and try to rest as much as I can. And I'm just kind of eager to see if I can get my body weight up to an all-time high, and if I can get my strength up to an all-time high. Yeah, one thing Robbie pointed out to me is that even while I'm in my off-season and my weight's climbing up, that I still keep myself in pretty decent condition and vascularity. The only thing I can say about that is I really don't go out of my way to eat bad food. Typically, I just have a little bit more of a relaxed diet, meaning, I'll eat pretty much whatever I want, but I pretty much stick to the basics all the time. I eat really clean, lean ground beef and rice. I'll do my shakes, and I'll do my carb powders and things like that. And if I want to eat something out of the ordinary from time to time, a burger or even a piece of pizza here and there, in the off season I can get away with it, but I typically just don't eat bad like on a regular basis, just because I just have no desire to eat junk food. By doing that, and with the way that I train and I guess my metabolism, I really don't have a problem with like getting out of shape or getting fat. I think I'd have to really try to eat really bad for a couple months if I was going to really start to store some serious body fat. So I feel like my body just responds better by just kind of like eating clean, but just taking in a lot of good calories. And every once in a while, I'll throw some junk in there. And sometimes that's actually good, just to shock your system. So for me, I really don't have a problem with like leaning out. But it's definitely a fight for me to get my weight up because my body just seems to want to burn it up and drop weight. So I find myself kind of force-feeding myself in the off-season trying to get my weight up. But, on the flip side, it does help me stay leaner. And when it's time to rip up, I just kind of like cut back on some of my calories, and, the body fat comes off. So one of the things that I wanted to bring up was, some of the stuff that I've learned from, my coach, and then also, from Rich Gaspari, is that, if you train with serious intensity, you really can make some serious changes in your physique. And some guys, everybody has different genetics, but you don't have to have perfect genetics to really change your body. And, one thing that really makes a difference is how hard you train and with what intensity. And myself, I really noticed a big difference. And, that's one of the things I think I learned from Rich was, when Rich was competing, it was pretty much common knowledge that, he just would train with such ridiculous intensity and train harder than everybody else. And at the end of the day, that really does make a difference. And, I've found that to be the case with myself, too, that I don't have perfect genetics for growing, and just I'm definitely not a mass monster. So I really have to push myself to the limits and train heavy and train hard and train with serious intensity. And I notice that when I do that on a regular basis, that's when I start seeing some serious changes in my body. And it doesn't really take that long. You can really make some things happen, but you have to be willing to push yourself to the limit. And obviously you've got to have a game plan, and you can't do that year round. And one of the things that I focus on is, I do it in phases where I'll train a certain way for a couple months, and then I'll switch it up. And obviously the last 4 months before a contest is pretty extreme. So right now my focus is max weight and trying to get my weight up, and then I'll switch it up and maybe back off for about 3 or 4 weeks, and then I'll ramp it up again and drive that right into my contest. And the reason I bring that up is just because I think you're going to get what you get out of it, what you put into it. And for me, when I train with that kind of intensity, my body seems to respond a lot better. So don't be afraid to make yourself throw up sometimes, because if you can push yourself that hard, you should respond well, and hopefully your body will reward you. All right, so I want to wrap this up, and I want to thank my sponsor, Gaspari Nutrition, and pretty much I'll be at the Arnold, obviously at the Gaspari booth. I'm also going to be there interviewing athletes for the Arnold Amateur, and I just want to wish my partner, James Davis, luck at the show. And if you see me there, stop by, say hello, and we'll see everybody out at the Arnold Classic.
Hey, what's up, MD? It's Ava Cowan here, and I'm holding the brand new Muscular Development. It's April 2011. As you can see, Arnold's on the cover, and inside it's really cool because there's never before seen pictures of him, including a nice poster right there. And oh my goodness, who's on the back? Look at that, that's really exciting. So you gotta pick it up, get your copy March 1st.